Good evening, I'm Adventure Argonaut, and this is the Golden News. Let's see, the stream's up. I think so. But this one, Rumble and Kick Twitch Rumble, Party, even Party is working. We are having a party. Wait, this one's still. Okay, no. Okay, yes. Okay, I think we are ready. So let's see. So the first story is, of course, the Trump inauguration. He was inaugurated, and there was no dirty bomb or whatever some people were whispering that there might be. And it went okay as far as I know. And there's, of course, like a million different stories already just related to his inauguration, like different things that he promised that he would do. But like already I watched like Mr. Metaker's stream on it, and saw like Trump's speech, and it was actually sounded pretty good. Like like it seemed like Mr. Metager was saying that he is actually gonna do as he promised, which is unusual for sitting president or politician. Of course, he might still change his mind or whatever. But even before I saw the speech, I was like cautiously optimistic. So let's go see all the different stories I have here. So first, convicted felon sworn in as president. I don't know. This is a good way to start, right? And but shouldn't that grant him more privileges? Because nowadays it's the criminals who get scot free, and like well, especially in Europe, like you're a criminal and you struggle snuggle somebody, and then you get a slap on the wrists. But then if you're a regular citizen and you complain about it, you go to jail. At least in Germany, I think they had something like that. So, anyways, here is Alex Jones claiming that Trump says Nancy Pelosi may have orchestrated January 6th.
For me, but it was just make-believe stuff, and there were a lot of make-believe stories made up. So rather than suffer the wrath, like the story with Nancy Pelosi, I offered her 10,000 soldiers. She knows it. She admitted it on tape that her daughter made. She's a videographer or whatever you call her, which I'm glad she is. Oh, she can't be in good stead with Nancy. But Nancy said it was my responsibility as she's leaving the Capitol. She said it was, and it was. She's in charge of security at the Capitol. But I offered them up to 10,000 soldiers, even more. One time I said more, as many as you need. But you needed 400 or 500. If 4 or 5, you 10,000, that would be more than the number of people there by lot. But we offered her 10,000. Think of it, 10,000 soldiers. In other words, J6 wouldn't be J6. There would have been no J6. But she rebuffed them. She didn't like it. No, she didn't like it. Maybe she wanted that to happen. But she's guilty as hell. And now we would have to go through the process because they destroyed all evidence. They deleted everything.
It is the battle for the Republic 20.
Yeah, well, I do like that, Trump is not trying to, play nice or something. He's saying things as they are, at least some things, which is nice. And here it says Trump admin official promises to help Gazans. If we don't help the Gazans, if we don't make their life better, if we don't give them a sense of hope, there's going to be a rebellion. So sounds good. Of course, it's so far it's only words and stuff. So have to see if he actually or how to help them. Like give them a sandwich and a Mars bar or something, or do something more tangible. But we'll see. And here he says that he'll be eliminating any and all forms of DEI and recognize only two genders. And I'm not gonna play all of it, or should I? Let's play it.
This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based.
If it's
As of
merit based,
today,
it cannot be colorblind.
it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
I don't. It's absurd that people have to applaud that a president of a nation announces there are only two genders. Like nobody, like just imagine 500 years ago, 2000 years ago, any nation on earth that nobody had to like announce it as like it's a you're making a statement, like a proud statement of fact, like that's something that everybody's understood for thousands of years to be the fact. But we are so much smarter than our ancestors, and we don't seem to grasp it as easily. So somebody has to say it out loud like that. And then supposedly Trump denied Ukrainian President Zelensky's request to attend the inauguration 3 times. It sounds like a movie, Beetlejuice, 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 or Candyman or something. But it's the reverse. You deny him 3 times instead of saying his name to summon him or something. But this is good too if it's true. Since you know well, if you're gonna say that Ukraine has been genocided in the past couple of years, I think Zelensky is the number one culprit. Like certainly Putin is partially responsible, but he's not the main culprit there. Then Vivek Ramaswamy kicked out of DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, after fallout from denigrating American workers as lazy compared to their foreign counterparts. Although here it says that there's a community note during Trump's speech on the evening of January 19th. He confirms Vivek will be involved along with Elon in his administration. Video trimmed to relevant segment. Okay, but then there's this story saying Vivek Ramaswamy himself saying that it was my honor to help support the creation of those. I'm confident that Elon and team will succeed in streamlining government. I'll have more to say very soon about my future plans in Ohio. Most importantly, we're all in to help President Trump make America great again, and so he's gonna be running for elected office, so he cannot be part of those. So it does sound like he was actually um, kicked out of Doge. I guess because what isn't he supposedly some sort of scammer or something? That's how he became rich and famous or something. I don't remember, but anyway, so this community notice bullshit if this is true, because this is him saying it. So I guess it's yeah, he's not going to be part of those, so that's good. Maybe it also means there won't be millions of Indians going to America to take over. That's probably good too. And Trump withdraws the US from the World Health Organization. This is great. Like World Health Organizations and the United Nations, they should just be abolished altogether. They are, well, look into Lucy's Trust, or as it used to be, Lucifer Trust, Alice Bailey, all that. That's this is not a conspiracy theory. That's weird fact. Let's put it that way. United Nations was founded on some New Age Luciferian doctrine, and you can see it in the fruits of their labor that it's has been an evil organization. At best they're incompetent, but I think they're worse. So yeah, just this is great news too. So Trump is so far unless Disclose TV made this news up, but Trump is doing actually good things already. It's just been a day. And then Trump has invited anti I cannot say this word on Twitter, so anti-Israeli Rabbi Aaron Teitelbaum to the White House. Don't know any more details about why. Maybe he just wants to play, I don't know, golf with this guy or something. But I like the way where this is heading. If this is if it is true. And then Trump issued 1,500 unconditional pardons over January 6th Capitol attack. So this was also like, if the first day, this is definitely what he had to do. Like this is because he is partially responsible that many of these people were arrested for the so-called insurrection on January 6th that year, 4 years ago. Um, I'm just wondering. So yeah, it is a way to redeem himself and also to like prove that he's not just full of hot air. Um, I just wonder like how many more people are still in jail or being prosecuted for something. I don't really know about the numbers, but this is very good. And then, okay, the chart of Trump's meme coin resembles his side profile. This is unless this has been altered some way, it is true, and of course it's sideways, but it's interesting. But his meme coin, like his crypto meme coin, I think Trump meme coins falls off a cliff after Trump's wife Melania launches her own meme coin. Are they like having a marital spat or something? But yeah, if Trump endorsed this coin and it, people lose a lot of money because of it, it is sort of looks bad on him. That's you cannot get around that. And Smelania, that that doesn't work. Like at least for me, when I see the dollar sign in front of a word, I read it as S. So yeah, I don't know. And this wait, I think there used to be a community note here saying that it's not safe to invest your money in Smelania. What else? Yeah, here is something saying that this guy's saying the president and first lady have just scammed millions of Americans for God knows how much money the day before they took office. Great way to start his presidency. Yeah, if indeed they are disastrous, the coins, that's not a good look. Definitely not. But at least partially it is the onus is on you if you bought their meme coins and stuff and lose money from it. And then there's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. On January 20th, the Trump White House will advise all U.S. water systems to remove fluoride from public water. Fluoride is an industrial waste associated with arthritis, bone fractures, bone cancer, IQ loss, developmental disorders, and thyroid disease. So Trump and Melania want to make America healthy again. So this is also great news. Like I stopped using fluoride-based toothpaste pastes like 15 years ago, maybe 16, something like that, and my teeth haven't fallen off. So yeah, it is a good question. Why do they add fluoride? Like I would say maybe it's something to do with this to make the people dumber. And then Trump appoints Mel Gibson, John Voight, and Sylvester Stallone as special ambassador to Hollywood. I like the pick of Mel Gibson. He seems like a decent guy for a Hollywood actor. Was that it? I think that was all for the inauguration story. Hey, it only took me 15 minutes. Okay, what was the next story? Ah, yes, the Roman salute is back. Yeah. So just first look at it. This is a very historical greeting dating back to ancient Rome, 2,000 years or something. Very important part of European history. And then Elon Musk is bringing it back. I'm not quite sure what the context of it is and all that stuff, but I do think it's funny, and I think it's a good thing. So yeah, and Tim Pool is seething. How do you accidentally do a Roman salute? How do you accidentally get tossed out of 109 countries? Yeah, incredible things are happening. What's this? So yeah, bro just threw a Roman salute twice. Okay, I didn't know it was twice. This is not. So that being said, beware of false prophets. But I wanna go for a brief history lesson. Where do I have my notes? So yeah. So yeah, it's part of you know disregarding whatever you think about this guy. It's a part of European history. Rome is it's not even arguably, it's like the most significant political entity of European history, maybe even world history. And if it's a part of Roman history, it shouldn't be banned because it's illegal in some countries, at least Germany, to even do that thing. And whatever this guy did with it, you shouldn't stigmatize the greeting. The same goes for the swastika. Like here in Asia, it's a Buddhist symbol. It's used in Buddhist temples and stuff, and it's not a symbol of hate or whatever. And whatever hate him or love him or whatever you think about this guy, you shouldn't. This guy didn't invent either the symbol or the greeting, so it's sort of um, I don't know. Well, I'm just gonna say it's just wrong that they're only associated with one political ideology from like 80 years ago. So, and also, but even these guys, the mustache squad, like I grew up being told that they're the worst political ideology in history. But I'm not saying they were the good guys, but I'm just asking, did they sacrifice children to Moloch or something? Like did they practice child sacrifice like Carthage or something? Or were they pederasts? Like did their politicians molest children like um many politicians seem to do nowadays? So I'm just saying, like you can say that, how bad things they did, but like as far as I know, that wasn't part of their political ideology or practices. And yeah, because that. But anyways, but still, you're free to hate this guy, and people who follow his ideology, but you shouldn't label this greeting with them because they didn't invent it. Hey, looks like I came at the right time. Hey, Agent Double Hurts. Well, you missed the part about Trump's inauguration, but I guess it wasn't as interesting as this part. But yeah, let's move on to the next story. I think I've said all I'm gonna say about this. Historical greeting is a important part of European history, and it shouldn't be considered a hate symbol unless you hate European history. And then Biden pardons Fauci. I like this guy. Doesn't look so much like Biden, but he still looks. I don't know. I think the energy is similar. So anyway, so Biden pardoned both Fauci and Milley, the General Milley, Mike Milley, in a to guard against potential revenge by Trump. Why pardon Fauci unless Neon asks? Yeah, it's obviously, you don't pardon innocent people, right? Especially since they have, like, okay, you can, innocent people do get sent to jail. Revenge as injustice, exactly. Sometimes revenge can be justice and vice versa. Um, but yeah, you don't like sometimes innocent people can get sent to jail, like many of the J6 prisoners, but they've been pardoned, at least most of them, I hope. And but at least you have to formally accuse them of a crime, right? Like he did the same with his son, Hunter Biden. I'm just wondering, like I'm not quite sure how do these presidential pardons work. Like usually you pardon like somebody who is already in jail, but like has anybody else, like other presidents, pardoned people who haven't been even sent to jail or prosecuted or anything like that? So yeah, Biden preemptively pardons Anthony Fauci, Mark Milley, and January 6 committee members. So even like the people who falsely sent people to jail. It's weird calling it revenge when a criminal is brought to trial. Exactly, Agent Double hurts. Well, well, like personally, I don't think that revenge should be considered a bad word. Revenge can be a good thing, in my opinion. Like, of course, it not always, but sometimes. So it's clear. Like I think since Biden is no longer in office and his administration has been discredited, I think we can say clearly, openly that Fauci, he is a criminal. Like Mark Milley, he's a traitor, and those January 6 committee members as well. And here's Mark Milley, yeah. This shows what kind of man he is. It's a good picture and not altered or edited in any way at all. But I'm just wondering, like surely if people do uncover some crimes that Fauci or Mark Milley may have done, surely there's a way around the pardon some way. Um, because well, one thing, like Mr. Metaker pointed it out in his stream yesterday, that like they admitted like a month ago already that Biden is demented, or I was going to say schizophrenic, but he has Alzheimer or something like that. And so, if he's not really capable and hasn't been capable for a long time, how can you accept his pardons? Are they legitimate? Like, did Biden truly write them, or like if he signed them, what did he know what he was doing? But let's move on to U.S. senators really like Israel. Wait. I forgot one story, of course. And just in 200 artworks by Hunter Biden, allegedly worth of millions of dollars, destroyed in Los Angeles fires. It's like, yeah. Okay, now I'm thinking, like, were they actually used? Because people used to say, some people claim that it was money laundering. That's why Hunter Biden's paintings were, getting sold for big amounts of money, but now I'm thinking maybe they were used to traffic drugs or something else, and maybe that's why they were accidentally destroyed. So you cannot, to get rid of the evidence. Perhaps. Anyway, so Israel, U.S. politicians, they like Israel very much. So here it says 16 representatives were asked, who do you care more about, the US citizens or Israel? Only one answered, Americans. It's a long
So I
video. I'm
heard
not.
that anti-Semitism is on the rise on X and across various social media
Yeah,
platforms.
let's skip.
I'm
I
up
don't
here
want.
with the Stu Peters Network.
I'm
I
gonna
just
not
want to
gonna
ask you
go
a
through
quick
all the
question.
6
I'm trying
minutes.
to ask every representative I can.
Go for it, Frank.
That is, do you care more about the American people or Israel as a member of Congress?
I don't think they're mutually exclusive, Frank.
Can you elaborate?
They're our best ally.
Are they?
Yeah,
Do you
okay.
care about
How
more,
are
the
they
United
best
States or
ally?
Israel?
Nobody's really answered me. I've asked this question many times.
United States or Israel, sir? No answer? Should we put you down for Israel? Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? It's an easy one. American people or Israel? You don't got to fake a phone call. American people or Israel? Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? The American people or Israel, sir? Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? No answer?
I think that Israel is one of our strongest allies in a part of the world.
Like, okay, yeah, just not gonna show any more of it. But of course, you can say that the interviewer, he's sort of harassing them, and the people are not obliged to answer. And because if they were to even answer him, some of them it would give the questioner legitimacy or something. But on the other hand, like if you're a congressman in a democracy, and it shouldn't be difficult to say, like, of course I love my people and America and whatever. Like, it shouldn't be a big deal to say it, right? Agent Doubleheart saying, when you lose the war, you execute your war prisoners. This behavior of the Biden admin follows similar logic. Mm, do you mean like pardoning the Milley and Fauci because they're not being executed? They're being pardoned. And anyway, the is it Thomas Massey? He was taken out of some special committee in the Congress, and then he's replaced by Virginia Fox. Who says, I rise today to support Benjamin
I rise
Netanyahu.
today to support Prime Minister Netanyahu in the just cause of eliminating Hamas. Soon the
Okay, Agent Oberhart saying they have lost, but they want to do as much damage as possible, so to speak. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But hey, I think it gives like a Trump a mandate, like since his enemy fights dirty, that Trump is also um he's allowed to play dirty. Like, yeah, I was thinking earlier, since like if the president can pretty much pardon anybody, like couldn't Trump theoretically, like send a bunch of MAGA supporters to, I don't know, beat up Democrats or something, and when the police arrest them, then he just pardons them because the president can do whatever he wants, apparently. Couldn't he just do that? Like, of course, it's not right, but if the opposition is basically doing that, why should you refrain from doing it? Anyways, let's get back to the story. And there's this. Okay, this is just some disturbing Jewish woman shouting disturbing stuff, but I'm not really sure where this is taken or anything. But it's just like um, it's just a single person, so you shouldn't extrapolate too much into describing a whole group of people from it. However, it's still I think it's fair to see like both sides of these conflicts every now and then. Like, somebody said maybe it's like Russian or something, because yeah, it's goyim. It means Gentiles, but the way she says sounds like hoyim or something. Hoy. So that sounds like a demon. Sounds like a demon possession. Some. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Um. Just to point out, like, maybe all of these people aren't the beautiful people that the media always tells you. Okay, let's move on to the next story then. That was except, like, I have to remind Israel del Est. I do believe that the hey stolen Hellcat, welcome to the chat. The existence of Israel is one of the biggest impediments to world peace or world stability, at least in my opinion. So, yeah, let's move on to the next proper story. So TikTok was banned in America and then unbanned in, like, after 12 hours or something. Okay, so yeah, and Ben Shapiro applauds TikTok ban, calling the app a Chinese op by the CCP. And, like, okay, I'm not saying he's wrong. However, I think, like, both Israel, yes, no, no. Um, I was my thought process was distracted, but anyways, so yeah, most apps or whatever, they are some sort of spy apps or manipulation or something, by somebody, and also for getting your information and stuff. So it sounds you know strange to single out TikTok in that sense. Like, it's what's the word? I can't think of this. It's a very simple word, but I can't think of it. Like, hypocritical or something. And yeah, why are they banning TikTok? So the US views on top opinionated Israel Hamas TikTok hashtag. So free Palestine, free Gaza, or millions and millions. All that. I stand with Palestine, and then there's I stand with Israel is only 2 million. So this is, some people are saying that the reason TikTok was banned for a while is because it wasn't because it was also full of all sorts of woke ideology, you know, um, but this because many other medias were full of woke ideology too, but they weren't banned. But yeah, then it was unbanned after 12 hours because of Trump. And somebody pointed out this would be a very nice trick, basically to make people who are addicted to TikTok and of course desperate since they are losing their drug, and then Trump gives it back to them to make them like Trump. Like, it might be some sort of psyop or something, or maybe it is that because Trump was saying, I think a couple of weeks ago, that hey, you should wait on the TikTok ban. Like, I'll look into it when I step back into office. And then the people who wanted to ban it, maybe they were like, no, we want to get rid of it before Trump. But Trump already, before he was inaugurated, I think he said that, okay, the service providers or whatever. Like you can allow TikTok and I won't punish you and stuff. Do I still? Yes. So too many kids are being brainwashed by Chinese propaganda on TikTok. Bans TikTok. All the Zoomers move to the actual Chinese propaganda app. Masterful gambit, Mr. America. Yeah, so they made the Xiao Hong Shu or something. But I don't know if they all left since TikTok is functional again for Americans. So I don't know if anybody's using Red Note in America anymore or in the West. So yeah, this is sort of old news now, but I just wanted to remind myself and everybody else that this was a thing for like a week or something. Before TikTok was even banned, they were just talking about it. And then there's Charlie Kirk, the Turning Point USA, has been saying ban TikTok, and then when Trump unbanned it, Trump is saving TikTok. Pay attention, Gen Z. And then Harry Sisson, MAGA are complete total hypocrites. And then this Next Wave of America comments, the homo is right about this one because Harry Sisson is, or Harry Sissy, as he should be called, even though he's probably not that hairy, but he's, some Democrat cringe lord or something. But he is right about this. Like, it's very hypocritical of what Charlie Kirk is here doing. And like, hey, I'm no fan of TikTok, but I want, fairness. I want fairness in, banning, because generally speaking, I'm for, freedom of speech, freedom of expression. But then again, if something is truly harmful, maybe banning it is a good thing. But then we should look into it, like, okay, how is TikTok worse than whatever this or that, or like, OnlyFans or whatever? Like, why wouldn't we ban it for other harmful reasons? Because there's rarely consistency in what gets banned and what gets allowed. Or like, tobacco and snus, like in Finland you cannot buy snus, you can bring it from Sweden and stuff, but tobacco you can buy. And but that's another story, but it's one of my pet peeves. Okay, let's move on to the next story. So the world's largest lithium plant was on fire in California, I believe. Yeah, I'm not gonna listen to the stuff, but yeah, the largest lithium-ion battery storage plant at Moss Landing has started to flare up, and this was like 3 days ago or something. Flare up and looking as bad as last night. Over 1,200 people are still evacuated that live near this facility. The smoke coming out of this fire is highly toxic. Yeah, so yeah, he's also commenting on this. The Foundering, his music guy, you should listen to some of his music, is actually pretty good. So California is under attack. This is apparently the world's largest lithium battery facility on fire. Several of my friends have had to evacuate. I drove by this place every day in high school. So yeah, it's just like Agent Doubleheart says, like, I wonder if this is like some sort of that the because this was a couple of days, 3 days before the inauguration, that the previous administration trying to do as much damage before going out or something like that. Like, of course, it's possible there have been fires in California. That is just incompetence. It's possible, but makes me think that maybe there's something else. But I guess that the fire wasn't that big. So yeah, the nature fire burning Friday at one of the world's largest battery storage plants in Northern California is sending up flames of toxic smoke, leading up to the evacuation of 1,700 people and the closure of major highway. So towering flames, blah blah blah. So there's There's very little, if any, of a plume emitting from that building. Crews are not engaging with fire and are waiting for it to burn out, he said. Blaze did not go beyond the facility, according to Monterey County. So, yeah, I guess it sounds like it was a controlled fire, which is like maybe they were burning some sort of evidence of something. Who knows? But lithium ion batteries, they are sort of somewhat like limited resource, right? Like you can't just get them anywhere. So I guess it's like yeah, I don't know, but it just smells fishy to me. Smells irony. And then let's go to the next story. So, whore in Turkey arrested for wanting to screw 100. So, just couple of weeks ago, hey, stolen Hellcat will lithium will be short-lived for cars. Things are going to hydrogen eventually. Possibly, like it's just a lot of technology is like I don't think that lithium ion is gonna be it's not the best solution probably, but it's like a lot of technology is for the financial um interests have a lot of say on what technologies get developed and what gets scrapped. Like there's the old boomer meme saying that the car that runs on water was probably invented 100 years ago, but the reason it's not nobody drives one is because of the oil companies and stuff like that. So anyway, so recently, so there was some chick who screwed like over 1,000 guys in 24 hours, and then somebody in Turkey wanted to do 100, but she was actually arrested, which is you know good in my opinion. OnlyFans creator in Turkey has been arrested after announcing plans to be with 100 men in a single day. It's like, generally speaking, like certainly maybe 10 years ago, well, maybe I would have been, but let's say 20 years ago, I would have said, like, oh, it's so bad, like, you're not allowing people to do what they want. But there should be some, yeah, or some moral, like people shouldn't be allowed to do immoral things too blatantly in public. Promoting immorality should be criminalized. Like, of course, it is a slippery slope. Like, you can easily go too far, and I don't know, a woman showing her ankles is gonna be arrested next, which isn't good either. But still, for the past few decades we've been going too far to the degenerate route. So let's of course this is Turkey, is a Islamic nation, so it's obviously it's going to be more conservative in this respect. But I want to comment on another thing. This, why is in English. Okay, it's daily Turkic. That makes sense. But still, why is it Türkiye? Why isn't it Turkey? Because that's the English name for this country. And also because when I was writing notes about this in my note, was it notepad on my Windows, I wrote Turkey and it auto corrected it to Türkiye, which is like, no, no, fuck you, I don't want it, because this is the English name. Like, Turkey is the English name of this country. Like, it may sound stupid, but that's how language works. Like, let's have here's the flag of Europe. Flag, map. Damn, my brain is rotting. Because I'm so angry over this issue, because it's really triggered me since, look here, because of the Ukraine conflict. See, this is what it's called. Kiev. That's the capital of Ukraine in English. But since the conflict started, it's because I guess this is more like the Russian pronunciation, but the Ukrainian pronunciation is Kiev or something. So it's Kyiv or something like that. But it's just that I don't care that like Kiev has been this, it has been known as Kiev in English for decades, if not centuries. So I don't agree to changing names because of politics. And also, okay, Trump is changing the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America, and I also oppose that. It's not exactly the same thing, but still, I'm not a fan of it. Stolen Hellcat says, we've always said Kiev and know it as such, but Kyiv is said by liberals. Yeah, because I think it's old Kaiser and Russia capital. Yeah. Yeah, but this is like, it's because the Kyiv with Kyiv is, I think that's more like the Ukrainian pronunciation. So it's because of politics. But, let's just look at some other countries. Finland, where I'm from, it's called Suomi. Like no other nation in world calls it Suomi except Estonia calls it Soome or something, which is close enough. But the rest of the world knows it as Finland. Like even Korean, they don't have the F sound, so it's Finlandu, or Chinese is Funlan or something, and I wouldn't oppose like okay if the rest of the world starts calling Finland Suomi, then I will allow Turkey and Kiev and all of that. But it's mostly political because nobody's Finland isn't in a the victim status of Finland isn't high, so nobody seems to care. And then Sweden is Sverige in Swedish. Norway is Norge. Germany is Deutschland. And Germany. I think the name Germany comes from like Roman times. They used to call it Germania. Or Austria is Österreich, which is like the Eastern power or something, the Eastern Reich. And okay, Spain is España, which is at least is quite close. Like basically they dropped the e, or maybe Spain added. Well, it's Hispania is also from Roman times. France is France. At least it's almost the same, and I don't know all the original pronunciation of each European nation. It's like Estonia is Eesti. So just to point out, like the name that the natives of the land call their country often is different from the English or any other nation's word for it or other languages word for it. So it's just like I want fairness, I want equity. If we're gonna go this route that Turkey is gonna be Turkey and all that stuff, then well, let's do the same for all the rest of the European nations, okay? Whether you want to call Turkey European or not, but at least in this respect, it's close enough. Okay, that was my rant. Let's go back to the news. But I do take things like this passionate. Oh yeah, one more thing is also Eskimos. You're not supposed to call them Eskimos anymore. And like in Finland, there used to be this ice cream bar called Eskimo, but it's apparently politically incorrect. You're supposed to call them Inuits. So now we don't have Eskimo bars anymore. English and American English uh, differ greatly. Well, yeah, that's true as well. But it's just like many different like in Finnish we don't call London, we call it Lonto and so on. Like many place names are different. Even names of people are different. But that's besides the point. Let's get to news. So Kingdom Come to Sodomy controversy. So it's the upcoming RPG Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I have the first one, the first game on my Steam library, been there for a few years, but I haven't gotten around to playing it. But anyway, so there's it started with this, as far as I know. So the Steam discussions got a code of conduct update, which says stuff like discrimination in any form is strictly forbidden. This includes racism, sexism, homophobia, ableism, mocking or belittling individuals with disabilities. Okay, how about if you ask, like, okay, can I play as a cripple, like one-legged man in the game? And then somebody says, well, like, well, I don't think that would work, because you have to climb ladders in the game, and climbing ladders with only one leg is very difficult, so probably it's not possible. Is that, would that be constitute as belittling? Like, this is just okay. Ageism, religious discrimination, classism, colorism, body shame. Colorism, isn't it bias and prejudice based on skin tone? Isn't just racism? Okay, no hate speech or harmful ideologies. What white supremacy? How about black and no neo-Nazism? How about black supremacy, or I don't know, Jewish supremacy or Korean supremacy? Are those allowed, or is it just racism? Well, like, why even have these if it's already this? Uh, yeah, here you, ladies and gents, new code of conduct. So it's like, of course, this was a red flag, and then people got worried because this is supposed to be like a sort of conservative game. Okay, the ancient double hertz is saying it was called Eskimo in Österreich too. I was there for vacation as a kid. Okay, okay, yeah, because when I was a kid, nobody really used the word Inuit, but it's been more popular for the past 2 decades or something. Anyway, so Kingdom Come 2 Deliverance 2 Steam discussions right now are not going very well. So yeah. Yesterday, trust us today, new code of conduct, you're all bigots. Get woke, go broke. Was hyped for the game, but you ruined it for me. Devs, please confirm with the Saudi censors. I really wanna blah blah blah. Wish list removal. Bigots being upset. Banned in Saudi Arabia. I'm not actually sure whether it's actually been banned in Saudi Arabia. I guess they're looking into it, whether they're gonna ban it. But let's see why they might be banning it. So, okay. Here Henry is. I mean, Grums is confirming some stuff. Or okay, Kingdom Come Deliverance is not woke. I received exclusive information from someone who has completed the game, which clears up many rumors. So yes, Henry, the main character, can romance other characters in the game. Henry can romance another male. However, this is not forced upon the player in any way. I would say it's borderline woke, especially if this is a historical medieval game. Similar to how BioWare did romance checks, you must A. Initiate the dialogue, and B. Pass around 5 dialogue choice romance checks without missing one in order to unlock this romantic partner. You have to go out of your way to do this and do it over the course of the half the game. Crypto's small hat Saudi princes are strict. Uh, yeah, I do think that they are like Saudi. They are quite strict on many issues. And this is Daniel Vavra. I think he's like the developer. At least I've been led to believe. So no one. The game is exactly what I wanted it to be. No one has tried to influence me as an artist in any way, or anyone who knows me knows I wouldn't let them anyway. Every character in the game has a very clear reason to be where they are, which you'll understand when you play the game. Our goal was and still is to show life in medieval Bohemia as it easily could have happened, and to tell an interesting story. At the same time, it is a role playing game, so it is purely up to the player what decisions they make and for what for all the decisions they make. They are responsible for the consequences and that correspond to the morals and social norms of the time. I don't want to spoil the plot, the important events and roles of some of the characters for anyone, so you'll have to see for yourself by playing the game. And I strongly believe you'll agree with me. Uh, so okay, it's well, for one, yeah, the game is not out. I'm not gonna say, definitely one is gonna be one way or another, but it is still like, personally, if I was going to, I don't know, pre-order this, I wouldn't do it anymore anyways, like anymore, but I wouldn't pre-order anything anyways. So the last game I pre-ordered was Legend of Grimrock, like it came out 10-15 years ago. I'm pretty sure that's the last game I pre-ordered. And I didn't regret the decision back then, but I just try to stay away from it. But anyways, there are still like some red flags, not big ones, but some. Like, okay, it is a role-playing game, but you can decide to be gay, and 15 years ago I wouldn't be like, yeah, whatever, I wouldn't care. But now it's like, okay, if it's a supposedly historical medieval game about knights, like why does it have to have gay stuff? Like, if it's a role-playing game, you can do what you want. Okay, can you romance a chicken or something? I don't know, can you become a monk and live 5 years farming in the monastery and praying and stuff? It's like, it's still, they when you make a video game, there's a certain amount of time and effort. Like, you cannot do everything. You have to allocate your resources and see what to use them on, like what you're gonna do and what you're gonna leave out. And it's like, is having the potential gay romance really worth the effort, unless you wanna entice the woke crowd? That's my take on it. And yeah, here this Daniel Vavra is saying is, glad to see you came out and embraced being gay. Explains why you made it mandatory in a medieval Christian game. It's not mandatory, and it's not Christian game, Grifterbox. So it's not a Christian game. Like, hey, I'm an agnostic. I'm not Christian, but I actually would like if they said, like, this game Deliverance. Like, of course, I'm before I forget, I have to make the joke. Deliverance. Of course, it has to be gay. If you've seen the movie Deliverance, it makes sense that there's gonna be butt sex. But anyway, so this game, I'd really like to have like unabashedly Christian game about knights, to have like a very positive Catholic message in the game. So that is a bit disappointing if it's not. Um, okay. Is there something else about the gay sex? Oh yeah, yeah. And well, if there's a gay sex scene, like, I don't have a problem with that in itself, because I'm a big fan of the movie Name of the Rose, about Sean Connery investigate he's plays a monk and investigates a monastery and crimes, and then there's some homosexuality there, because it makes sense in the story. So it's like, it would make sense that you may come across in the game, in Kingdom Come, you might come across somebody having gay sex, and then you can choose how to react. Either pretend you didn't see it, or you're like, how dare you engage in this blasphemous act, or go to tell the Inquisition or whatever. That would be fine. Or you can say that, okay, yeah, you can do what you want, I don't care. That would be fine. But like, if you can become gay yourself, it sounds a bit forced. Especially some people say that the protagonist in the first game was 0% gay, and now you can choose that he is sort of gay. It's like, but the game is not out. It's still, I'm just pointing out my reservations. And then there's this character. So yeah, this guy is Muslim. What a stupid game. Okay, so he says overall it is safer in our country. Nobody will waylay you on your journey, and we treat women with greater respect and set great store by learning. Well, I wouldn't actually. I don't have any objection with it by itself because of course this guy will see his own culture as superior. Nor do I really have any objections to one Muslim black guy being in like a Moor or something being in medieval Bohemia. Like I think that's fine as long as you don't go overboard with it, as long as you don't go fully Yasuke or anything. But so yeah, I have to see how this character is going to be handled. Wait. Okay, what's this? Yeah, people are still commenting. So this guy said, "Gojo defraud Vavra. No, with no hate. How come Henry, that was canonically in a relationship with Bianca and never showed any interest to the same gender in the first game, can potentially be gay in the second entry? Ain't that kind of random?" And then he answers, "I know a few men who had family, children, and then fallen in love with a man, but Henry is you. It's your story and your choices." But, like, okay, can I fall in love with a chicken or a donkey? Like, come on, man. Because I don't think, like, as far as I know, it's a role playing game with more bigger emphasis on adventuring and fighting and trying to stay alive and stuff. Why does it need gay romance? Okay, imagine reckoning Gerald by altering his. I guess he means retconning Gerald by altering his established traits and making him buy in the new games. This situation is even worse since in the first Kingdom Come Deliverance, Henry is 100% straight. In a Christian kingdom, God forbid, there's one main character straight. Kingdom Come, yes. Let's go. Okay, still okay. So it's about the Saudi ban. No LGBT themes, but some romantic conversation options with the same sex character exist. Also, no unskippable scenes. So, is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 banned in Saudi Arabia? It's not far fetched to imagine that Saudi Arabia would ban a game for featuring LGBTQ sequences. That has happened before, blah blah blah. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 does feature sexual sequences and nudity, but so far during my preview of the game, I've yet to stumble upon any LGBTQ themes, bar a couple of romantic conversations options with the same sex character. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist, of course, but yeah, I do think it does exist, so it's probably gonna get banned then in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, and here Barbara confirms the gay scene. So after the left is cursing me a Nazi for 10 years, now Nazis cursing me a Jews because Saudi Arabia might want to ban Kingdom Come Deliverance because of the homosexual scene. Yeah, I don't know, like I think, if this guy was smart, he should, know that his audience is for this game, I think is mainly either is people who just want historical accuracy or they are more, right leaning and religious who don't want to see this gay stuff. Like, of course, it is possible if the gameplay is good and stuff that they even more left leaning people would be interested in it. But still, it's like he should have you know stick sort of stuck to his audience and so forth. Uh, yeah, and there's this guy commenting. This isn't specifically, I guess, about the. It's not about Kingdom Come. But yeah, so somebody's complaining. Seeing so much glee about cancelled project is just gross. Yeah, I hate it, fam. People who want games to fail are tourists, fake gamers, a lot of them. No, the actual gamers want offensive games banned, and I'm gonna get to it later on. So being this guy is making this, funny joke about it. Being chocolate industry, start selling bananas. Customers tell you to sell chocolate. Refuse to listen and double down. Chocolate lovers don't buy bananas. Angel chocolate lovers go bankrupt. Chocolate lovers celebrate. Banana sellers blames chocolate lovers. Exactly. I want my chocolate, don't no, not my bananas, or why not both? And then there's this duality of gaming. Thank you, devs, for not adding any woke LGBT stuff to the game. I don't know what game this is, but and then somebody says, please add LGBTQ plus representation to the game. It would mean a lot to people like me. It's not just about representation, it's about making everyone feel included. Plus, it could attract more people to purchase the game, or it could attract people from purchasing the game. So, like, I'm fine with, gay people having explicitly gay games. I don't want to ban them. I just don't want them shoved in my face. But I don't want gayness to be shoved into games that don't need them. Okay, can we finally move? No, I still have. Okay, I have this twice here. It's not a Christian game. Okay, let's move on to the next story finally. Damn. This one. Okay, religious grifters complain about girls in video or attractive women. This is, of course, about the Melanie Mac and stuff. And first, I want to say, like, religious, I have quotation marks because I do think that most of these people, they are not even really religious. It's more like an identity, like a fashion statement. Like now it's sort of cool to be Christian, but it's not like they're not really for the heart of the matter. Uh, what? Real old Andy, eliminating gangs by foreign networks. Ha ha ha. Does this mean all this just white collar ones? I'm not sure what you're referring to. But anyway, so yeah, Melanie Mac complained about. So yeah, ban gay marriage, ban porn, shut down strip clubs, tear down idols, to name just a few. No one is forced to attend church, pray, etc. So obviously, salvation is encouraged for all. Elect Christian leaders who can provide biblical basis for all their decisions. Well, like okay, ban gay marriage was like, I don't know, is will it be considered a hate crime, gay crime if I agree? But ban porn is like, it's been a meme on the internet for a few years already, and I agree with the general sentiment. However, I'm more like saying that porn should be restricted, because it's like the prohibition when you couldn't drink alcohol. A lot of people actually drank more alcohol than when it was allowed, because it made it exciting and it made them feel more like, I don't know, freedom fighters. So, and especially like if you were to ban porn, how would you go about it? Will you ban and criminalize making porn, distributing porn, or consuming? Because I certainly like, and also, does it apply just real porn with actual people, or also cartoon porn? Because I do think that porn with actual people having sex on camera, that's, I think it's harmful to the actors themselves, and you could ban it on that principle. But however, banning cartoon images, that I think that's a bit different. And I definitely wouldn't want to see people get arrested if they are watching hentai or whatever in their mother's basements. uh, but yeah, and so anyway, she's been saying that complaining about some games. I'm not sure which games that that have attractive, scantily clad women, but supposedly Melanie Mac also liked Stellar Blade, which is like, I was like, before it was released and stuff, I was a bit skeptical about Stellar Blade because I do think the character looks very nice, but my major concern before the release was like, okay, will the gameplay be any good? Because I want more than nice looking females in my video games. Like I think it's a good thing if the females look good, but then again, like if the game is, because it's obvious that Stellar Blade would have been very mediocre if the character would have been just a guy or a very average looking woman. But because it's a very attractive woman, that's why it was so successful. And when a game does that, it sort of makes me feel like, okay, does it have any other assets? Because that's the oldest trick in the book: make a mediocre product seem good by adding a pretty lady next to it. And also Razor Fist has gone the same route. We can in fact insist on good games that are not spiritually caustic or degenerate. Well, I agree, but I don't know, has he defined what is spiritually caustic and what is not? And there's the article here. However, if it loads, it says like you have to subscribe to read it. So trial. I don't want a fucking trial. So I don't know what is. Do they define what is what? How to define what is bad and what is good? And also, I do respect, genuinely respect, like people who don't want to play games that have too sexualized characters. That's different to somebody who wants to ban them. Like I totally understand that if it can seem to be lowbrow and in bad taste if the game has very clearly trying to use sex appeal to players. It's it does set a kind of image for the game that can have negative consequences. So two decades of woke made a lot of us forget how weird and annoying religious extremists are. Thanks for the refresher. And so Melanie Mac says, get the perverts out of gaming, and the games based on lustful intent lack substance. It's like, well, yeah, games based on lustful intent lack substance. I do sort of agree, but see, I don't think like these two people. I don't think they are religious extremists. It's more like a religious pseudo-religious grifters. Is my impression that it's one of the oldest tricks in the book to Bible bash to gain political power or media clout or whatever, even if you don't believe it yourself. And I do think they make a bad image for more reasonable Christians. And just look at Melanie Mac. She has this Lara Croft here, showing her croft here and her legs and stuff. Is like, so this is fine then, but what games aren't fine then? And yeah, and this is just an example of sexualized content. Like, it does set some kind of image, and it's you don't play this game simply for the gameplay. And I'm just saying, like, it seems, I'm not sure what game this is. It's probably some gotcha game. ZZZ, is this the Bernice game? I know Bernice, like the character and the song I think is fun, but I haven't played it. I don't want to play any free to play games really, or gotcha games. So yeah, it seems cheap to me. That's my argument. So I'm just like, I guess my argument is that there really has to be nuance on this, not just saying this sort of game bad. Did I just close? Okay, I accidentally closed the window. Okay, the the ass game ZZZ. I'm not saying it's, it should be banned or it's inherently bad. It's just, it sets a kind of image of a, lowbrow, just trying to appeal to the lowest common denominator kind of stuff. And if you like it, fine, you can like it. But yeah, usually I want something more from games. But sometimes, it's nice to have crap like that too. I guess that's all about this topic. Then let's go to the gaming news in general. So Concord flopped so hard it accidentally made the industry better. So has Concord scared Sony straight on its PlayStation Live service ambitions? So it's good if this destroys live service stuff, because in out of principle I hate live service. It's like, because it's usually more nickel and dimey, and also like all these games with different seasons and stuff. Like, when I start playing a new game, I like to start from the beginning. And if it's a, basic one single player game, I know, like, even if it's 25 years old game or something, I know that I can start from the beginning. But if it's a live service game and I come into it playing, in the season 25 or something, and it's like, okay, what did I miss? Or like, Hearthstone or card game like that, there's so many expansions and stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm not fan of live service, and it's also bad for game preservation, because they're usually, online only, and once the company stop supporting them, then they will die and nobody can play them. So yeah, thank God for Concord, I guess. I didn't show the article. I screwed up. Okay. Well, it's just the headline, so it's nothing much. Okay, and that's the headline for all the other gaming news. So PlayStation 6 will launch in 2027, says Insider, as next gen specs leak. Yeah, I expect it to suck. But if PlayStation and Sony can avoid going bankrupt, then maybe PlayStation 7 will be good when it comes out in 10 years or whenever. But yeah, I used to be a PlayStation fanboy back in the 90s, but especially with PlayStation 4 and 5, yeah, not a fan of Sony anymore. And 12 years later, Sony McDonald's patent is becoming real. So here is some patents that say McDonald's to end commercial. So you actually have to pay attention uh, to the commercials and interact with them, to skip them while watching your TV or something. And here is Hulu asks you to answer advertisements to continue watching. So how many rows are in the Lexus TX? 2 or 3? I don't know if this is real or if it's like, Photoshop or something, but oh no, okay, it says humor. So I guess it's not real, but it's just like something like this will probably eventually become real, unless, people revolt, because this is quite revolting. And then there was the whole conflict between Elon Musk and Asmongold, because Elon Musk streamed himself uh, playing Path of Exile 2, but then he in some on some like really high level character. But then a bunch of people said that he wasn't playing that well, so he's probably didn't level up the character himself. That somebody else did it for him, and then people were calling him out, and then Musk got all triggered over Asmongold's comments, and then he even lost his check mark for like a day or something. I'm not sure if it's being confirmed. It was Elon Musk's fault or some other reason. And then Elon Musk even leaked their private DMs like Asmongold's private DMs, which is a bitch move. It's like, but hey, maybe he sort of redeemed Elon Musk redeemed himself yesterday, I guess. But yeah, this is whole this whole topic deserves a video of its own, and many other people have done it already. So I am not going to go into it any deeper. But it is interesting. I at least I would be remiss to ignore it altogether. Uh, but yeah, Asmongold reacted to Elon Musk saying he's not good at video games. Okay, yeah, more of this stuff. But whatever. Yeah, more of this. Why did I add so many links to it? Okay. And yes, Sony files patent for AI that predicts button presses before you make them. The concept detailed in patent titled Timed Input Action Release combines AI with sensors like cameras to anticipate button presses, reducing the delay between your actions and their execution in game. The AI system relies on sensors to analyze player movement, such as hovering fingers on subtle controller adjustments, and it uses machine learning to predict the next input. This is how Skynet is gonna be born, right? That's all I'm gonna, my impression of this technology is like, why do you need this? Like, yeah, it's good to have responsive controllers, but like, just make it respond to the input and not input that the player hasn't done yet. It's like, a minority report, but for controllers. I don't really get what's the need for it except to some Orwellian surveillance of the player. Like, of course, yeah, if it has these functions that it can, try to predict how you're gonna play the game, then maybe it's gonna predict your living habits or spy on your home or who knows what. And the Dragon Age directly left BioWare for an offer she couldn't turn down. So yeah, after screwing up the company of BioWare and Dragon Age, Veilguard, Corinne Bush, she went to EA. No, she served 18 years at EA. Where did you go? She left BioWare and EA. The BioWare Edmonton studio, which is responsible for the development of Dragon Age 4, will close in February 2025. Yeah, so she's failing upwards, I guess. I don't know where she's going, but whatever. Like, why don't we live in a culture where you get penalized for failure? Like, I made this argument before. Let's have a look. Yeah, so in the empire, this happened to you if you failed, but in our culture, if your status is high enough, you get rewarded. So which society is better, the empire from Star Wars or our society? Just asking a question. After shutting down several after shutting down several popular emulators, Nintendo admits emulation is legal. Yeah, it's been legal since whenever, since I've known what an emulator is. So why is Nintendo allowed to do it? Like, aren't they admitting they blustered people with their money and lawyers? Like, I wish somebody would shut down Nintendo. And I sort of like, Nintendo, like their games and stuff, but I don't like them as a company. Like, I think Sony and Nintendo are really having in a battle to, like, to trying to earn my ire, like, which is gonna piss me off more. It's disgusting. A new Square Enix policy will clamp down on harassers, bigots, and unreasonable compensation requests. So they're gonna sue you for wrong thing, like they said there. So take action as blah blah blah. Okay, this is the archive. So there's pictures. Maybe I can copy paste this onto a file and read some of the stuff there. I'm not gonna read all of it, but just some of it. So Square Enix has enacted a new group customer harassment policy to protect its employees. The company will take legal action if staff members are subject to harassment from customers, like blah blah blah. So it constitutes targeted harassment, including threats of violence, intimidation, and obstruction of business. It's like okay, threats of violence. That should be, you should call the police, right? Well, what does it have to do with the company? Except they can provide the cops with the evidence, or with their from their servers and stuff. Uh, okay, let's try to copy more text here. See, I don't want to give them clicks, whatever website this is. So yeah, the group customer harassment policy is a blanket policy for the entire company, covering all the regions, extending to their partners. Boo, boo, boo. Some of the forms of harassment highlighted in the statement include acts of violence, abusive language, discriminatory speech, defamation and slander, sexual harassment, and infringement of privacy. Slander. Okay, you buy a game, some online game from Square Enix, it doesn't work, and then you send them an angry email like, you morons, you don't know how to make games, it doesn't work, and then they sue you for slander. Is that how it's gonna work? Square Enix has a voracious fan base, which has unfortunately led to an increased toxicity for a company to take such public standpoints to a very real and continuing problem that their employees have faced. No, I think it's the problem that they are facing is that the company is shit, and they make shitty products, and they have shitty DEI practices and stuff. Well, let's move on. Bloodborne hasn't happened on PC. Hasn't happened because Miyazaki cannot do it himself, but he doesn't want anyone else to touch it. So yeah, Miyazaki. Miyazaki is the main designer or whatever in the From Software, Dark Souls, Elden Ring, all that stuff, and Bloodborne. Um, So at least supposedly, according to this article, it's not Sony's fault. It's not on Bloodborne hasn't gone on PC because Miyazaki doesn't know how to do it, which sucks because I've never played Bloodborne. I want to play it. Just fairly recently streamed Dark Souls 2 and 3, so yeah, I do like this genre, even though it sometimes pisses me off. Dark Souls 1 didn't piss me off much though. Anyways, and then Civilization 7 is coming out next month. And this is why piracy exists. So there's three different versions of it. The basic versions is 70 bucks or euros, and the deluxe edition is 100, and then the founders edition is 130. So yeah, and you get more, leader personas, cosmetics, new wonders in those other versions. Like this should be like, I genuinely think this should be outlawed. Like you shouldn't, like on release you shouldn't have these different tiers. Like at best, maybe give some cosmetics as a pre-order bonus or something. Like maybe, but like leaders, because I hate it buying a game that has millions of DLC, and then it's like, okay, should I buy all the DLC because I don't want to miss out on any content? But if it's pointless content, then I don't have to. I don't want to go through all the research and stuff, and this is like already 70 bucks is a lot of money, and then there's you have to. like that's already too much in my opinion. Unless if the game is super good, if it's actually really good, and I am a fan of the Civilizations series, have been since basically the first one, the original Civilization. Although I didn't play it much myself, but because I was too young, but my older brother used to play it, and I used to watch and find it fascinating. And then I got started more with Civilization 2, and then there was Colonization, and Civilization 3 was a bit disappointing, but it was okay. And then, of course, Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri, which, arguably would be the best Civilization, even though it's technically not one. I didn't like Civilization 4, but I didn't really play it with all the DLC. But 5 I like quite a lot, but there are some issues, and 6 of course sucked. So this one should be good, but they're gonna fuck it up. I just want the fucking company to go bankrupt, because I find this genuinely offensive. Like they're like, fuck you. Ooh, are you poor? You don't want to pay $130 or euros for this, for get the whole game. Sorry, you get the poor man's version, but you still have to cough up $70. Like, if it was like a free edition that you don't get everything, maybe it would be more acceptable. But this is just offensive. And not to mention, they have Harriet Tubman as one of the leaders, and some obscure slave who ran away in the 19th century during the Civil War or something in America. And if she's just some random character, like if Civilization 7 has like minor historical characters, like let's say this city has Harriet Tubman, and you get +1 to money each turn, that's fine. But if she's replaces George Washington and whoever it is that's supposed to be the US leader in the game, that's bullshit, because all of the US or the leaders in civilizations have been kings, presidents, actual leaders, and not some obscure historical figure, like not the guy who invented chopsticks or something. I don't know. It's like it's just wokeness if Harriet Tubman is gonna be there. It's like, I don't know, sounds disastrous, and I do take it personally, because I want a new good Civilization game, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be there. Like, just all the signs are wrong. It's just, yeah, I am genuinely upset about this, and offended, genuinely offended. Like, am I should be allowed to be offended too, right? And okay, there's Blood of Dawnwalker. I've like last week I saw lots of people shilling this on Twitter, and so this is some uh, you know Witcher like action RPG. Like a lot of people who left CD Projekt Red are on making this game, and I do wish it would be a good game. I don't hate it, uh, but this is the lead designer or the creative director, and he has this flag, so it doesn't bode well. But hey, maybe the game won't be woke. Maybe it will be good. Hopefully, genuinely. But and the way I saw people shilling it, that was also seemed very inorganic. But let's see. Blood of the Dawnwalker. Not sure when it's supposed to come out. Is it gonna come out soon or in a couple of years? Not sure. And GTA 6 costing as much as $100 could help video game industry rebound in 2025. Well, yeah, if that's the case, I really want the industry to go bankrupt. The whole fucking industry. Nuke it from orbit. Like, no. Monkey Island said never pay more than $20 for a video game. That should be the standard. Like, I could make an exception for some games that truly deserve it, and if the company explains why it truly deserves it, but like most of these games don't deserve even $50. So nope, nope. Like, I think a lot of people will still pay 100 or more for GTA 6, but I wish they wouldn't. And the last story is, this is Marvel Rivals. So somebody got banned. Violation detected. Your character faces penalty for December 1921 24. So it's for 100 years. So 100-year ban for cheating. So of course, like, uh, I think it's just a mistake. It should be, well, no, it's 2020. It's 24. I don't know. Maybe it was a typo. Maybe it was supposed to be like a year until the December of 2025 or something, but it was actually accidentally 100 years from now. But maybe it's not. Like, maybe the company is so confident in Marvel Rivals that they think the game is gonna last at least 100 years. That 100 years from now, people will be playing it. That's impressive if that's genuinely how they feel about it. Uh, but that's it. Damn, this has been a long newscast today. Yeah, that's the last story of the week. So yeah, of course, the main story is still Trump. Have to pay attention. How many hits and misses will Trump and his administration have? Not just for, I'm not American, but the reason why I care so much about U.S. politics, since it affects the rest of the world, is because of U.S. actions, and of course, Israel is involved too, but that's another story. Is that the immigration crisis in Europe and stuff. So U.S. America does affects the rest of the world, so that's why I care. And bye bye, like, I'm waving bye bye, like in Elon Musk style. So I'm Adventure Argonaut. Thank you for watching, and these have been the golden news. Stay golden out there or something. And yeah, Agent Double Hurt says enough good games exist for a lifetime. Exactly. Like, it's nice if there are truly new good games, like new innovative ideas, new technologies that allow for new things. But there are quite a lot of new games already, that are old games that are good, that you can keep yourself entertained. Or, like, even if aliens eradicate every video game from existence, there are still other ways to entertain yourselves, like books and, I don't know, sports ball and so on. But anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for showing up, Agent Double Hertz and Stolen Hellcat and everybody else. Bye bye.